Right, we're on lesson 101 today, and it's talking about percent markups. And the equation that you need to remember to work any of these problems is that the selling price, SP, is equal to the purchase price plus the markup. So SP equals PP plus MU. The reason that businesses have to have a markup is they wouldn't be able to survive if they sold things for exactly what they paid for them. So selling price is also known as retail, and purchase price is sometimes called wholesale. So you have stores like Costco or Sam's that are called wholesale stores, but they're not truly wholesale stores because they also have to have a markup to stay in business. So the only wholesale is, you would consider wholesale if you owned a business. That would be what you pay for it, and then you would sell it for retail. So you'd have this markup that makes up the difference, and markup is for overhead. That's like your rent, your utilities, anything that you as a business owner would have to pay to keep your business running. Now I'm going to tell you right now, the example that we use, or some of the examples that are in this book, are really outdated, because we'll have an example that deals with the cost of a sports car, and it'll be the cheapest sports car you will have ever heard of. Must have been probably back when I was in high school in the late 1970s, if you're going to have a sports car that sold for $10,000. But you should get the general idea about how selling price and purchase price work. So the first example says the selling price was $48. So I'm going to put that here for selling price. If the markup was 20% of the purchase price, remember when it says of, it means times. So 20% we're going to write as 0.20 of the purchase price. So that's the markup. Then we have the purchase price plus the markup. So selling price equals purchase price plus markup. The markup will not always be a percentage of the purchase price. Sometimes it can be a percentage of the selling price. You'll just have to read that in the problem. So now we can work this problem, because remember, if there's no number in front of this PP, it's understood to be a 1. So 1 PP plus 0.20 PP is 1.20 PP, and that's equal to $48. So then how do we solve this? We divide both sides by 1.20. And I know you guys have your calculators, so you can go ahead and multiply it out. I don't have one with me right now. So I'm going to move the decimal over here once, and I'll move the decimal over here once. So I have 480 divided by 12, which would be 40. So the purchase price was $40. Now, what if they asked me to find the markup? Well, if the selling price is 48 and the purchase price is 40, then subtract 40 from both sides, and the markup must have been $8. Now, sometimes they ask for that and sometimes they don't. This one did say what was the markup. So the purchase price is 40 and the markup is 8. All right, let's move on to the next one. The purchase price, so I know it's this kind of problem, so I'm going to go ahead and write my equation. SP equals PP plus MU. The purchase price of the item was $1,800. Put it right here. If the markup was 40% of the selling price, so that's 40% times the selling price, what was the selling price? So here we're looking for SP. Remember, there's no number in front of SP, so it's a 1. So if I subtract 0.40 SP, I get 1800 equals 1.00 minus 0.40 is 0.60 SP. And to get SP by itself, we divide both sides by 0.60. Again, I know you have a calculator, but I'm going to move the decimal over 1. And so that'll be 18,000 divided by 6 would be, what that goes in, 3000. So the selling price was 3,000. So how much did they mark that up? If they purchased it for 1,800 and they sold it for 3,000, be selling price equals purchase price plus markup. Purchase price was 1,800. Selling price is 3,000. So we subtract 1,800 from both sides. And the markup was 1,200. Sounds like a big markup, but we don't know what the item was or what their overhead is. One year when I was teaching, this is many years ago, my Algebra 2 class figured out what the code was at the cadet store, and we were able to calculate what the markup was. It was pretty high. This was before Sodexo, so this was a different company that had the cadet store, but it was a pretty high markup. All right, last example for today. It says the sports car retailed for $10,368. What did we say retail was? Retail is the same as selling price. So the retail of this sports car, which is unheard of right now, is $10,368. What was the purchase price? So we're looking for that. If the car had been marked up 8% of the purchase price. So 8%, don't write 0.8, that would be 80%. 8% is 0.08 of the purchase price. This is where people will make their big mistakes, is not put 0.08. So if we add 1 plus 0.08, that's 1.08 purchase price equals 10,368. And then divide both sides by 1.08. And I'll move the decimal over 2 places. And I'm going to just start reducing since I don't have a calculator here. I know you guys can go ahead and divide it, but let's see. This is an even number, so that would be 518,400 over 54. And that's an even number, so I can divide by 2 again, which would be 2. 11 would be 59200 over 27. Let's see, 2 and 5 is 7 and 9 is 16, and there, that's divisible by 3. So that would be, let's see, 3 goes in there, 8 into 19 would be 6. 12 would be 4. Now let's see, that goes in there, 9, 54 would be 600. Like I said, I know you guys have calculators, so you'll just take 10,368 divided by 1.08. That's fine, but since I don't have a calculator, I just do it like this. So the purchase price was $9,600. What was the purchase price? It doesn't ask what the markup is, but if we needed the markup, we would take the selling price and subtract the purchase price from it. And the markup was $768, which really is unreasonable. Because if you think about a car dealership, the salesman gets money for it. The dealership gets money because every month that a car is on their lot that they don't sell it, they have to pay the manufacturer a rent for it. And then the utilities for the business, the rent of the building itself, $768 is nothing. That poor car salesman must have gone home with nothing. So this really is not a very realistic problem, but it does give you an idea of how purchase price, selling price, and markup work. All right, so this assignment is due on Thursday. Like I said, on Monday I'm going to post the answers, the answer sheet within the assignment so that you can grade it and upload that to me graded. Either take a picture of it or scan it into Canvas. Do not email it to me. Submit it through Canvas. Graded, please. All right, we have one more lesson for the week. I'll teach that tomorrow. Thank you very much.